From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big Sunday noontime here on LALATE with your incredible, great details about that fourth stimulus check updated 2021. In today's recording, we go over the fourth stimulus check, how much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and all the incredible details you need to know for the fourth stimulus check of today. We'll be going over the breaking news that formulated in the last 24 hours about the fourth stimulus package as the president consummates a major deal in the fourth stimulus. I'll explain all the great details and the other breaking news as well. Then we turn to fifth stimulus that raises your benefits across the board and raises them to a new benchmark, and why that benchmark may be the biggest of a generation. And then in the middle of this recording, we go over the thousands of dollars you can get right now, and viewers continue to kill it and get that money as well. I'm really excited for you. The big noonday is heating up, and there is not a single moment we are more excited for. It's a red shirt Sunday. I'm going to win at the golf tournament, or I'm hoping for crypto go cheaper. It's a beautiful day. I'm here. You're here. Let's get right to the breaking news, starting right here on Noontime LA. Hey, good noontime, everybody. How you doing? It's a beautiful day here in Southern California, live with you directly from Santa Monica this Sunday noontime. How are you? How's the weather where you are? And tell me where you're watching and how's the weather. The sun has come out. You can tell. It's not hot, but it is very, very bright, as you can tell, if the shirt's not bright enough already. So how are you? In this fourth stimulus check updated 2021, we're going to go over the monthly stimulus check, how much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and all the incredible, great details. Then we'll be turning to the breaking news that the president consummated a major deal in the last 24 hours about the fourth stimulus package. I'll be explaining the major details about this deal. And then we'll be turning to fifth stimulus. They'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. And then the big thousands of dollars you can get across the board. It's a big noontime. And subscribe. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7-day a week financial news channel, live on air. In the morning, live, and then taped in the afternoon. I'm next back with you on afternoons LA at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Big show today. And that's followed by evenings LA. Even a bigger show tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, followed by evenings crypto and overnights crypto. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Next stop, 1 million. I want you to hit that subscribe button. But also, make sure you hit the like button. You weren't hitting that like button earlier today. Oh boy. You were just sort of watching in big numbers, but forgetting to like the video. So hit that like button. Don't forget. And consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that fourth stimulus heating up right now. That fourth stimulus provides both a House bill and a Senate proposal. Let's look at them right now. The House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate proposal provides a stimulus check from July to December. The House bill provides a stimulus check that would be $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The Senate proposal, the monthly check amount is unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Wow. That is wonderful. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Now let's go back and analyze some of the macroeconomic factors they may impact Jalapal's bill, which is this. The pandemic may be over by the time Jalapal's bills call for a vote. If that's the case, you would get 12 months of checks, not pandemic plus 1 year. If you're on the live chat just before 12 noon, get ready to vote House or Senate. Get ready to vote House or Senate. Tell me where you're watching from. Let's go over this twist. If Jalapal's bill is reduced to just 12 months of checks, that would mean 12 months, $13,000 compared to this in 6 months. Oh boy, I think you have an opinion now. All right, get ready to vote. House or Senate, live chat or in the comment later if you're watching the video later in the day. House or Senate, which one you like, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Well, let's go over everything else you need to know about this fourth stimulus check. First, who gets it? You do. You got that third stimulus check, you get the fourth stimulus check. Single individual, 75,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. If you are a family household of 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. Married couple, double it. And if you're on benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. Congratulations. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, so you get the fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income, so it's not going to be taxable. The fourth stimulus check would not come in a wave of checks because it's a monthly check. It's not waivable. Hi, check. No, don't worry. The fourth stimulus check would not be a different amount for different people because you're all the same people. Single individual, adult dependents, everyone is the same person. Same stimulus check. And the fourth stimulus check would go out in the month of July. Remember, they're legislators. They make representations, not me. I don't represent anything. I just report what they were saying. And they report that the vote would be by July 4th. That means you would get a stimulus check in the month of July for the month of July. And then in the month of August for the month of August. And away we go. Boy, that is your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. Part 1 of 3 parts in this video. Coming up in a second, I'm going to go over the big deal the president just hatched on the fourth stimulus package. It is jaw-dropping. But first, here's a preview of the second half of this video. It's fifth stimulus. And fifth stimulus raises up your benefits a lifetime with an incredible new benchmark. Your current benchmark is COLA. The new one would be inflation. And why is the inflation expected to be the highest of a generation this December when they apply it? And why would that raise your benefits a lifetime an enormous amount? And why is this a lot more than the Warren plan of $2,400? I have all those incredible, great details coming up in the second half of this video. But now let's turn to the fortune of money that viewers continue to get. And someone sent me a very nice comment after Morning's LALATE and after Morning's Crypto right before the show. That viewer said that they are now approved for rent and it really helps them. Meantime, another viewer said, I really need help for rent. So I put that viewer in touch with one of the volunteers on Facebook because they needed help right away. That is the spirit of this channel. And I'm going to get you some money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners utilities, and it's starting right now. Get that pen and paper ready. I got thousands of dollars to get you. That's the spirit of this channel, always getting you money. And we're going to start with $250 billion that's laying in your city, county, and state this week and next week in different locations. So what you need to start with understanding is that every location has different eligibility. So if one says no, the next one may say yes. So keep on looking because each has a different pot of money. Almost ready? Stay with me to the very end. I got a lot of money for you. So you're going to be reaching out to 6 locations, and they are City Hall, City Housing Authority, County Hall, County Housing Authority, State Hall, State Housing Authority. The key words you're going to say is rent assistance because of COVID or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You're not going to say stimulus. They don't know what that means. And you're not going to say pastrami on rye. Because they got to say, excuse me, sir, this is not a delicatessen. This is the rent department. So don't say stimulus and don't say pastrami on rye unless you're at a delicatessen. And boy, one viewer got that money, and it was Tim. Another viewer got that money. Her name was Linda, and it's about $5,000 for rent. It is wonderful. 4 to 6 months of rent approximately. But the next pot of money, oh, boy, I was really excited because yesterday on Morning's LA, one viewer got $6,000 to $7,000 a year for this. Oh, wow, killing it. You are all killing it. If you had a success story, drop in the comments right now or in the live chat or in the comments of the video if you're watching later in the day because it inspires other people. It inspires me, and it knows that you're taking this information from this video and getting that wonderful money. All right. Congratulations to Lynn Glenn, who got for her son, for her mom, and for herself, and for Gail, who got as well, and for everyone else's countless viewers, and it is Snap. Snap is one of the big success stories of this channel. Let's go over what it is, how you get it, and where you're going to get it. It is money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture. Reach out to Department of Agriculture or DOA. And how much is it? Family of 4 in Hawaii, upwards of $16,000 a year. Yes, why so much money? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders, one from Biden and one from Trump that raised your benefits up 15% between now and December. Wonderful. So go get that SNAP. $16,000 for SNAP for a family of 4 in Hawaii. $5,000 approximately for rent. We are just killing it. And we are only 10 minutes into this video. Well, I got more money for you. Stay with me to the very end. It's happening right now. $5,000. One viewer got this money, and it's money coming back from the federal government, from the state via the federal government. What is it? The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment benefits due to computer error and telling you to return the money. Oh, no, no, no. The federal government says it was your money to keep. The state should not have ordered you return it back to them. And guess what the federal government has ordered? The states to return the money back to you. Congratulations. So how are you going to get this money? The account you have on file with the state. When? Reach out to your respective state for routing time. Now, the next pot of money just embodies the entire spirit of this channel. People helping people. That's the Purple Power spirit. That is the true embodiment of this channel. People helping people step by step. We aren't tracking checks. We are cashing checks. And COD embodied that spirit 2 nights ago on Overnight's Crypto, our hit show on this channel that goes 16 hours. And it's a lot of fun. Last night broke all YouTube records and records of this channel. 16 hours with hundreds of people in the chat at a single time. He jumped in the show 2 days ago to say, I got my check. Tell viewers I got mine. Tell them to stay positive. What is this? It's money back from the federal government. Several viewers have gotten, and several have actually said it in the Overnight's Crypto show. And how much is it? When do you get it? How do you track it? Let's go over all the details. It is the money that you pay to IRS on that taxes of your 2020 return. So let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment benefits. You paid $5,000 of total taxes to IRS, of which $4,000 was the tax part for unemployment. Congratulations. You are getting back $4,000. How? If you're COD and others that have direct deposits set up on that bank, on that 2020 return, it's going to that. Otherwise, in the mailbox, a razor thin envelope, watch for that envelope in the mailbox. When? Month of June. Finally, tracking? Yes. Go to irs.gov, set up a username and password, go in there, search for your name, and then pull up what's called a transcript search, and it'll show all activity on your name. 70% of the time it works. It'll show your tax return you filed, the taxes you paid on that tax return, and your refund check coming. Oh boy, do we get better than that? We do, and it's the second half of your fourth stimulus check update 2021 today with that big deal in the fourth stimulus from the president. The president in the last 24 hours hatched a major deal in the fourth stimulus package, which was no surprise, but the surprise was that it happened now before this fourth stimulus was approved and signed into law, because he did it to anchor fourth stimulus to the finish line. This is huge. And even this morning, Mayor Pete was on broadcast news talking about how big this was for fourth stimulus. I'll be going over how this works and how this happened in just a second. But first, let me tell you all the breaking news that led up to that major deal this weekend. It started over a week ago when Leader Schumer confirmed not one, not three, not two, but three of the details I've been reporting on this channel. One, Schumer confirmed my reporting that the fourth stimulus package reconciliation is currently underway. Second, Schumer confirmed that the fourth stimulus will go to a final vote no later than July 4th. And third, Schumer confirmed that fourth stimulus will be approved with or without any Republican votes. That'll be done by recon. Now, how do we get to there? Well, we got the ball rolling with Jalapal again. When Jalapal wrote that House bill, those House Democrats, over 100 of them, wrote the president a letter saying, when we do fourth stimulus, we are putting multiple stimulus checks from Jalapal's bill in there. Oh my goodness. So what did Jalapal do? About a week ago, Jalapal wrote Schumer a letter saying, call the vote. Call the vote, Chuck, on the recon. What are we waiting for? Why did Jalapal say that? Because there was too much of a question. Why were we not proceeding to a vote? Well, now he's calling the vote. More about that, what calling a vote is, later in this video. But it gets even better than that. When Jalapal wrote that letter about a week ago, 12 House members co-signed the letter. And those 12 House members are among the 100 that wrote the president a letter weeks earlier saying they're going to put multiple stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Wow. Now that's wonderful. Does it get better than that? It does. When about a week ago, 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to work with you to put multiple monthly stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. Now, work with you is a euphemism because the president doesn't write legislation. They do. But who are they? They are on the subcommittee House that is solely and exclusively responsible for writing stimulus checks. Oh my goodness. So the committee that writes stimulus checks wrote the president saying they were going to put it in there? Yep. And they wrote the first stimulus checks. They wrote the second stimulus checks. They wrote the third stimulus checks. And now they say they're doing four stimulus. Oh my goodness. That is incredible news. So that brings us up to today's breaking news. The breaking news formulated about a few days ago when you would hear me talking on this channel about something the president had done on Tuesday that I said was complicated. I wanted to slow it down. So let me go over what that Tuesday was and what happened today and yesterday. So about a recent Tuesday ago, the president had reached out to global leaders around the globe saying, I want to raise the global corporate tax rate to 15%. Why? Because it's part of his initiative to get forced stimulus finished. Why? Because forced stimulus involves raising the U.S. corporate tax rate. But the president was worried if he raised the U.S. corporate tax rate to pay for forced stimulus, that businesses in the United States would flee to other countries where the corporate rate is cheaper. For example, business may leave New York and move to France because the corporate tax rate in France may be cheaper. So his idea, raise the global corporate tax rate so it would no longer be cheaper to move overseas. Well, that recent Tuesday ago, the global leader said, tentatively, yeah, we'll do this. So what did the president say to insiders later that Tuesday afternoon? He said that after, and that's a key word, after forced stimulus is signed into law, he's going to reach back to those G7 countries to get them to sign on the dotted line and make this global minimum corporate tax rate a global rule. And then if that happens, he would drop our U.S. corporate tax rate a little bit lower because at 25%, we would be too high compared to a global of 15%. Wow. Now that was wonderful news at the time. Getting stimulus checks out the door and a global corporate and a U.S. corporate tax rate closer to where we are. But it got better. On Friday, I had told you that I had seen a news clipping that was buried in a news article, because that's what I do. I do in-depth reporting here. And that news article talked about Saturday, the president meeting with G7 countries. And I said, I don't know what this is, I said on air on Friday, but stay with me on Saturday because I expect something to be hitting. And Saturday morning it hit. On Saturday morning, the president, the Treasury Secretary, and the Finance Minister of France, among others, announced the G7 countries had reached an agreement on the global corporate tax rate now and are signing it into law next week, far before forced stimulus gets to a vote, so that the president is using that to get forced stimulus to the finish line. Oh my goodness. How and why is he doing this? Because by getting the global corporate tax rate signed into law before forced stimulus is signed into law, it anchors forced stimulus to the finish line. Because now this was the bread and butter that supported forced stimulus, and it's getting done first rather than after forced stimulus, pushing forced stimulus to the finish line. That is incredible. And what else is incredible? The volunteers. The volunteers of this channel are absolutely incredible. Coming up in the second half of this video, I'll be going over the third update you need to know about forced stimulus. I'll be going over calling the vote, everything that you need to know about what's in the bill or not in the bill, or whether there is a bill. Everything that you need to know to get prepared for next week on forced stimulus and the forced stimulus checks. I'll be going over fifth stimulus as well. But first, here's a little bit about the volunteers. The spirit of this channel has always been about getting people money. Making people money, not about sitting here and reading a news script. You don't see me holding a piece of paper and reading it. Not what I do on this channel. I get people money. And in April of last year, businesses were shutting down. People's EIDL loans were not being approved. I stepped in and got their EIDL loans going from stalled to approved. $25 million of them approved, saving their businesses, saving their homes, and saving their employees' homes. But in fall of 2020, second stimulus wasn't getting done. So I said, we have to get you money. And I reached out and I suddenly found rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance to help viewers with, and got fortunes $250,000 to viewers before that second stimulus eventually landed in people's hands early next year. Well, we're back again now with the volunteers who are salt of the earth, who embody the spirit of viewers helping viewers, and they are available to help you get that rent, utilities, mortgage help, and homeowners utilities if you've tried to get it and can't find it. Don't sweat. Reach out to them. How do you reach them? Open the description to this video. In the description of this video, you see an emoji of a house. Next to that emoji of a house is a link to the web page, the community page, news.lalate.com LALATE.com/community. It sends you to a webpage with some pictures of some kitty cats. They're not the volunteers. Lower on the page is the volunteers. Reach out to them. They're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and they will help you get that money. Here's a little bit about them, and I will be back in 60 seconds from now. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.LA.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Noontime LALATE, direct from Santa Monica, live on air. Hope you are having a beautiful day, where you're tuning in from, and how's the weather. Drop in the comments how you are and how's the weather. I'm in Sunday red. I'm not winning on the golf tournament. I'm not at the memorial. Jack did not invite me. Jack Nicholson did not invite me to play, so I just, whatever. But I'm also rooting for a down day on crypto. So, and with that, make sure you subscribe. This is LALATE live on air, but next with you taped at 3 o'clock with Afternoons LALATE. Don't miss that show. It's going to be a big show. Followed 2 hours after that by Evenings LALATE at 5 o'clock tonight, and then Evenings Crypto, and then Overnight Crypto, our new wonderful show. Everyone was in there having a ball last night. It's a big party. So make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button right now and like the video. Boy, this morning you were not hitting that like button. It's just like, here's how many views, here's how many likes. It's like, what did they forget to hit that like button? So don't forget to hit that like button and consider becoming a member. Let's cut right to fifth stimulus right now. Fifth stimulus, one viewer asked in the chat, when do people on benefits get their raise? It's fifth stimulus. And another person asked, when is the SNAP raise occurring? SNAP raise started in January. So it's going all the way to December. It's automatic. If there's some reason you don't think you're receiving it, call up Department of Agriculture. Great questions, though. Here is fifth stimulus, and this is where the raise will occur. Fifth stimulus heats up to September, a two-bill, two-step, two-month process, and it starts with raising up your benefit limits, removing the asset limit, adding the inflationary benchmark, removing the income exclusion, and removing the marriage penalty. So there's more than just a raise. There's a lot more money in this for you. I'm going to explain it to you right now. First, they're going to raise up your benefits one big time under fifth stimulus. Who's that? You. So if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, survivor benefits, or multiple benefits, or any other benefits I may have missed, they're going to raise them up one big time under this fifth stimulus. That's a start. Then they'll apply a benchmark, and the benchmark is inflation. Now, we all know what inflation is, but what is a benchmark and how does it work? Benchmark is very simple. Every December, they look at that number, inflation, and they determine whether it's zero, which it's not going to be this Christmas, or whether it has a number like 5%, 6%, 7%. If it does, then you step up. The way the benchmark works is you only step up, you never step down. The only case in which you stay the same is if the number was zero that year. Well, I can't remember the last time inflation in the United States was zero, but it ain't going to be zero this December. In fact, analysts this weekend, analysts last week, and a lot of economic analysts this coming week, with a lot of new economic data being released by the Department of Labor, will give us a more bigger insight into what the inflation number will be this December. Most now think it's going to be somewhere between 3 to 7%. Let's see how this works. First, they raise your benefits under fifth stimulus one big time. Then in December, they'd apply the benchmark. Let's say inflation 6%. Then you would step up an additional 6%, but not just for next year, lifetime. Because once you step up, you never step down. So you will always be at plus 6% lifetime. If the year after that, the inflation rate is 0, then you're still at plus 6%. If the year after that, the inflation rate is 3%, then you're at plus 6, plus 3%. It's wonderful news. That's why you want to have your benefits tied to inflation when it's expected to be the highest number of a generation this December. A lot more than the Warren plan was ever going to provide you. Next, they're going to remove the asset cap dating back to 1980's law, which is going to go away. It says you can't have more than $3,000 on hand. Now you'll be able to have more than that, just in time to get those stimulus checks in your hand. They're going to remove the income cap dating back to 1960's law that says you can't have more than you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. And finally, the marriage penalty going away. A horrible rule prevents you from getting benefits. So it stopped people from getting married and penalized people who are married. Now love is going to win, and you will no longer suffer for the marriage penalty and be able to get married. That's fifth stimulus out in September, starting in September, out the door, maybe October. In your benefits by November, they represent, and then finally the step up next year. Now, what's important to understand is that fifth stimulus has a lot of other stuff in there. And there's a lot of other stuff in fourth stimulus, and there's a lot of money still available for you in third stimulus. Some of this money you have to apply for. It's not automatic. But if you don't know what it is, how do you know what to get? That's the value of becoming a member. The member link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. Every day I deliver to viewers of this channel who are members a breakdown of what's in the third stimulus law, in the fourth stimulus proposal, and the fifth stimulus proposal. So you see what money you are entitled to that I can't cover in a single video. And there's a lot of money. For example, fifth stimulus has money for single individuals, single hazard pay, single seniors. But let's now turn back to some more exciting news, and that is fourth stimulus. Here's the third part of the fourth stimulus update, with not just one, but two things I want to go through. First, I want to go through what calling the vote is. And second, I want to go through what you need to know about fourth stimulus checks going into next week. First, what's calling the vote? Calling the vote for reconciliation is a 9-step voting process. No way to cut it shorter. It's 9 business days, so they don't work on Saturday. So don't look at the date calendar and count out 9 days. They don't work on Saturday or Sunday. And it requires 9 voting days. And that's required under the Constitution. So let's go through them. The first half are procedural, second half are substantive. Step 1, the House subcommittee votes on the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor votes on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate votes on the procedural bill. Step 4, the President signs the procedural bill. The tow truck has now passed over the finish line. Time to go get the tow hitch, the substantive bill. Step 5, the House subcommittee writes and votes on the substantive bill. It's at that point the House subcommittee could put in those monthly stimulus checks. Step 6, the House floor votes on the substantive bill. Step 7 and 8, the Senate has a 2-day vote-a-rama at which they can amend whatever they were given to them from the House. So if there were no stimulus checks in there, they can add it. If there were stimulus checks in there, they can leave it away. Or if there were stimulus checks in there, they can modify them. And then step 9, the President signs it into law. Finally, the big thing that you need to know with fourth stimulus is you have to push. There's a series of things that I want you to know going into the new week for fourth stimulus check. First, I want to jump into the live chat because someone posted a really great comment just a few minutes ago. I love this. This is from a member, Melinda, who has done a wonderful job in going on social media and tweeting and sharing the videos on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, or where else, with the hashtag MSC and Purple Power, went on Twitter and tweeted the videos and told people to push. And Melinda writes, been tweeting, meaning Twitter, for MSC, hashtag MSC, but getting negative comments from people on Twitter telling me to go get a job when I'm a disabled senior. Horrible. What I want you to know is that I do see that. I do see that there's sort of this strange microcosm of people, you would call it the Karens of 2020, of course. The people that sort of want to just sort of insult people. But I don't want that to dissuade you. I want you to be more positive than ever. Because if anyone goes on Twitter and goes back at you, say, oh, just go get a job. Stop asking for your stimulus check. Well, no, you should be entitled to certain things. You should be entitled to certain things and should be entitled to push. So I don't want anyone to feel discouraged because there's some naysayer. Here's what I also want you to know, is that I love Melinda's comment. Why? Because it embodies the true purple power spirit. It shows that a person who understands that you have to push, that ultimately nothing is guaranteed either way. Here's an example. You will certainly see in the next week a sort of microcosm, what I'm starting to see, of more donut guys than I've ever seen before. Scary. And more anti-donut guys. I don't even have an expression for anti-donut guy yet. But what's the donut guy? You remember the donut guy. Just tell me when I'm getting my stimulus check in July. What date are they sending out the stimulus check in the month of July? Does anyone know the date that they're sending out the stimulus check in the month of July? That's donut guy. And boy, I've seen a lot of donut guys lately. So please don't be donut guy. Remember, we have emojis for donut guy. We have the donut guy emoji. We have it's not bill yet. And we also have it's not law yet. Remember, you can't guarantee that there's going to be a donut in your hand until the donut law is signed into law. So donut guy, put down that donut. Next, we see anti-donut guy, which says there'll never be a donut. How do you know that? Do you work at the donut factory? So please make sure that you stay focused, because you're starting to see an upsurge of a lot of donut people. A lot of donut people who just expect things to land in their hands, and a lot of anti-donut people that expect nothing to land in their hands. It's just sort of, gotta stay focused down the middle of the road. Here's what you need to remember, is that legislators pass laws and don't send out money. Case in point, EIDL grant. They pass laws and they don't send out money. They write bills and they never called for a vote. Cash Act 2020. $3,200 for adult dependents stimulus checks. It's actually written. They set it up for a vote and they never finish the vote. Legislators who propose to do something and then fold like a lawn chair. Bernie Sanders, $15 minimum wage. Bernie Sanders, Josh Hawley, all of 2020. So legislators need a push, a polite push, a professional push, and that is purple power. So share these videos on Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram. Keep it positive, keep informed. Remember, if you see someone in the live chat or in the comments that is confused, educate them, because ultimately it's important for people to know how things happen. And with that, thank you for joining me on a big noontime. Thank you for always staying positive, stay informed, stay focused. I'm next back with you on Afternoons LATE at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That is going to be a big broadcast, so don't miss it. And leave the donut at home. It's too fat. And then I'm with you at 5 o'clock with Evenings LA, followed by Overnight's Crypto at 7. Evenings Crypto at 7, and then Overnight's Crypto as well. Stay informed, stay focused. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button if you haven't. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. And stay with LA for more.